My name is Greg McDaniel. Welcome back to another amazing show of Real Estate Coach Uncensored.
And I'm Bernice Ross, and our topic today is something that is extremely important. It's called 3 Powerful Reasons Your Clients Should Transact Now. Greg, what are the 3 primary reasons that people need to think about buying or selling now?
Prices are going through the roof, the inflation is going through the roof, and the rates are going to start to climb. So, Bernice, we have a lot of stats, and that's saying it lightly. We're going to go really deep here. Bernice, let's get going.
This particular topic, it requires a lot of numbers, but we're going to simplify them so that you can talk to your clients about it. And Greg's got some great ways to do that. I'm going to give you the deeper dive. Greg's going to say, he's going to share how you can push this out on the social media. But what we're really looking at, first of all, because prices have been going up for so long, agents don't know how to, explain very well. We've been living with higher, prices going up, but we haven't had inflation and increasing interest rates in the mix. And that's where the problem is, because agents don't understand how to explain this, and consumers can feel it, but nobody seems to know how to translate it into what it really costs a buyer to purchase, as opposed if they transact today versus tomorrow. So we're going to help you be able to explain this to your clients in a way that they can understand it. We're going to give you a lot of stats, but everything is here in the article for you. So let's begin with number 1, increased housing prices. According to NAR, I know the median price for a home at this moment in time is $356,700. It's increased 14.9%. A few days ago, Zillow forecasted that prices will increase by 11.7% in 2022. That's on top of a 17.7% increase they have seen in their tracking system this year. Now, so how does this translate? Well, here's the script that you can use. It's very straightforward. Agent, according to the most recent data from Zillow, a home that cost $300,000 in January of 2021 is now valued at $353,100. By the end of 2022, Zillow is predicting it will go up an additional 11.7%, placing its value at $394,413. Putting it a little bit differently, if Zillow's prediction that property values will increase by 11.7% in 2022 is correct, the cost of waiting to purchase that median price property is increasing at a rate of $3,478 per month. It's going from, at the beginning of 2021, from $300,000 to the end of 2022 to $394,413. That's a national average.
Something that a lot of the public doesn't understand and they don't know right now, and it's no fault to them because they don't do this on a daily basis. I would say, look, what we're looking at potentially versus, with Zillow's data, we're looking at an 11.7% increase. Now, if you're a seller, that's fantastic. But if you're a buyer, that's not so fantastic. That translates into $3,478 per month. Let people know what's going on with it and use the numbers that are in this article. That's exactly where I would start, because I was not aware of this, and I study this. And a lot of folks who don't do this would be scared to death with what they would be losing on a monthly basis.
Well, it's not that they're losing so much, but it's the prices are increasing by that much. But as you noted, that's money. If you have to pay more money for the same house that you could buy today, that's money that could go elsewhere. And that's a substantial amount of money.
Yes. Let's go into number 2.
Number 2 is increasing interest rates translate into less buying power for buyers. We all know this. If rates go up, you can't buy it and you can't afford as much. But what most people don't realize, Greg, and there are 2 components to this, is first of all, how much does a 1% interest rate actually cost the borrower over time? Because what most of us do When have you had one of your buyers who looked at, it's right there when you do the loan qualification, it's on the TRED documents, how much the total you're going to pay in interest. They never look at that. They just look at the monthly payment. So we're going to talk about that cost that almost everybody ignores. And the second piece of it, when rates go up, everybody knows this, you need more money to qualify. So part of the reason we haven't had to learn how to discuss rising interest rates is that beginning back all the way, and there's a chart here in the article, going back to the 1980s, interest rates have continued to fall from above 18% down to their low, and in December of 2020 of 2.67%. Now, Freddie Mac is increasing that they're going to increase about 1 point to about 3.7%, a year from now. So, Greg, while a 1% increase in interest rates doesn't seem like much, here's what the numbers actually look like. So, assuming that you're buying a $356,700 property, that's the median, and you're going to buy it today at 2.7%. I did find a loan yesterday when I researched it that was a little bit less than 2.7. So it's out there. And this was for a 30-year fixed mortgage with 10% down. Okay, it's a conforming loan. And here's what's going to happen. If you stay in the property, the buyer stays in the property for 10 years, depending on whether they got an 80, 90, or 95% loan, they will pay additional interest somewhere between $26,986, that's just over 10 years, to $31,475, again, depending upon the size of their loan. This is during the first 10 years they're in the property. Wow. If they stay in the property for 30 years, those numbers range from $55,595 to $66,019. Greg, that's a tremendous amount of money. Everybody looks at the payments. They forget to look at the cost of the loan. And this is one of the reasons that getting a 15-year mortgage saves you tremendous amounts of money. Now, according to HUD, the current national average income for 2021 is $79,900. Unless a borrower puts 20% down, even at an interest rate of 2.7%, over half the borrowers can't afford to buy a median price house. This is only going to get worse if the rates go to 3.7%, because here's the other thing that's hard. When rates go up, you need more income to qualify. And we have a chart again that explains this, but just to sum it up, if you were getting the cost, what you're going to need in terms of additional income to qualify for this loan, going from 2.7% to 3.7%, it is going to range from $6,690 for an 80% loan to $7,943 for a 95% loan. Now, this is about a 10% increase in how much you're going to be required to pay to qualify, but yet wages and salaries are only going up on an annual average rate of 4.3%. So what we see happening here, Greg, is the affordability is going, what you can afford is shrinking rapidly due to interest rates increases, higher prices, and we haven't even talked about inflation yet. Okay, so here's reason number 2 to transact now, and here's how to explain it to your clients. You have 2 options in how you present this data. You can use the charts from today, but what we're recommending is go to your mortgage professional and have them calculate the cost of buying the house today at 2.7% versus 3.7% next year. And then hone in on that interest rate number, because they'll give you the amortization table. You can see that number, and then also have your lender show you how much more it will take them to qualify, so that they're looking at this detail based upon their home purchase. I think that's a better approach than trying to show people charts and everything, because they get lost in it. But here's how to explain it. Agent, currently the best 30-year fixed mortgage rate available for your purchase is 2.65%. Interest rates for 2022 are predicted to increase by 3.7%. Assuming you stay in your home for 10 years, purchasing at an interest rate of 3.7% means that you will pay an extra $30,360 in interest. Now, if you've gone to the lender, you just would substitute in the rate that they did for today with a rate from a year from now, and then how much interest that would be based upon the kind of loan they're getting. Now, continuing with the script, though, qualifying for a 3.7% loan also means that you have to show an extra $7,525 in annual income. Given that wages are only increasing at a rate of 4.3%, is that something you will be able to do a year from now? Greg, so how would you push this out to your social media feeds?
What I would do, Bernice, is I would talk to my buyers and I would say, today is about 2.7% on your interest rate on your purchase. If you wait about a year, give or take whatever is going to happen, there's a potential of it going to 3.7%, which means if we buy and take action now, then you can potentially save up to over $30,000 in interest. When should we start looking?
Greg, I love that. It's a great way to explain this and to close them on this. And that's how you push it out on the social media. Okay, here's the thing that is the most insidious that we haven't had to deal with for many years. It's inflation. And Greg, right now, everyone is seeing the impact of soaring prices. The Washington Post says, meat, poultry, fish, and eggs are up 15.7%. Gasoline prices are up 43.9%. I just saw yesterday propane is going to go up 57% this winter.
Gosh.
I mean, it's just, and part of this, what's going on here, we are experiencing inflation. So what's happened with inflation in October of 2020, inflation was at a rate of 1.2%. Today, it is at 5.3%. Now, this is the primary reason that your buyers need to transact now. And let's take a look at how this works, because we know how to talk about interest rate increases. We know how to talk about prices going up, but talking about how inflation impacts prices, most of us are not prepared to do. So again, assume your client can afford a median priced home of $356,700. At a 5.3% inflation rate in October of 2022, the buyer could only afford a home that is $337,795. In other words, that inflation rate is eroding that buyer's power to buy that property by $1,546 per month. Inflation, it's just chipping away at how much you can afford. Now, here's how to explain it to your clients. And it's, engage them in a conversation, Greg. Everything's going up. It seems like cost, houses, cars, heating, toys, food, everything's going up.
Yeah.
The problem is when inflation drives prices up, it's like having a tax on your income. To illustrate how this works, so Greg, assume that you make $100,000 a year at an inflation rate of 5.3%. Your $100,000 salary today will be worth, a year from now, it will be worth $94,700. In other words, you are going to be losing $5,300 of your $100,000 buying power. In other words, the house that you could afford today, if you do not have an increase in the amount that you can spend, instead of being able to afford a $356,700 house, you will only be able to purchase one that is $337,795. And again, what's happening? Inflation is eroding your buying power, $1,546 every single month.
Bernice, looking at the $100,000 per year, and if they, in income, and then if they wait a year with the 5.3% interest in inflation, they go down, like you said, $94,700 a year. Their ability to purchase is going to go through. What I would tell, and what I do tell my buyers, is I say, So with your buying power going down by 5.3% in the next year, when are you going to talk with a lender? Let's get pre-approved. Let's go shopping.
Okay, Greg. So let's pull all this together. So this is where we can get we can get the true shock value. But these numbers, based upon the numbers that we've just discussed, so assume that your client can buy a property priced at the median point, $356,700. Here's the cost benefit to the buyer who purchases now rather than waiting a year to purchase. Number one, Zillow's prediction, prices will go up by 11.7%. That translates into $41,374. If the buyer is getting putting 10% down and getting a 90% loan, and the rates increase from 2.7 to 3.7%, they will pay $30,360 less in interest, and they will also need $7,525 less to qualify for that loan.
Wow.
Third, by transacting now, while the buyer can afford $356,700, a year from now, inflation will let them only afford $337,795. That's $18,905 less than what they can afford today. So adding those three numbers together, the increase in prices, $41,373, the interest rate savings, $30,360, plus the inflationary factor of $18,905, Greg, that comes to $90,638 to transact now rather than waiting a year.
That's insane. I mean, I don't even have words for that. I mean, those numbers are just incredible. I mean, people need to know this information. As agents, you guys need to go out there and tell these folks what's going on in your marketplace. Of course, speak with the lender, get your specific numbers. But I mean, as averages, that's a staggering amount of money.
Yes, it is. And it's, it's a real benefit. Now, one of the things, Greg, the markets are, here in Austin, we've got 1 month of inventory on the market right now. It's just insane here. But if it means they have to go further out, commute, but the point is to get in now, even if prices go down on I don't think on a $356,700 property that prices are going to drop 90 grand. They're going to be ahead. So even if prices go down, but every month you've got that low interest rate. And the good news is with inflation, you're paying your loan off with an inflated dollar. So, it's a win-win. The sooner, when you're in an inflationary environment, you want to transact sooner because it's like the cost of toilet paper. It went up, same things happen in the housing market. So to kind of wrap this up for today, familiarize yourself with the concepts in this article, educate your clients about the financial benefits of transacting now. And again, if they have to compromise to get into a property right now, again, be willing to do so. The benefits in terms of the cost savings are substantial. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next time.